Hello, 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 and welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy whatever, hope whatever you were celebrating, or um, even if you weren't celebrating, that your weekend was grand, and that you are weathering the cold snap that we in the United States seem to be having. Um, New Year, same you. So it's about the time of year that everyone thinks about making New Year's resolutions and how they're going to end this year and proceed in the next year. And I heard a lot of advice. Oh, wipe the slate clean. It's a great time to wipe the slate clean, or do that change, whether you want to diet and lose 20 pounds or be a more calm and peaceful parent, or you want to take up an exercise routine or a musical instrument or whatever to somehow improve yourself. um, but that gets a little exhausting, and as we all know, studies prove that what we resolve to do on the new year doesn't always follow through. It doesn't come to fruition throughout the year. It's kind of naive to think that turning the page on a calendar will make everything better. Um, but every new year is an opportunity to better yourself. But every day is an opportunity to better yourself. It just seems that when you have a group behind you doing the same thing, it's a little bit easier. There's so much potential there. So, so here's something to think about before you, what's to say, throw the baby out with the bathwater and decide that you're going to change everything. Like, think about what's good in your life now. Think about what we should give thanks for, what we have, uh, and 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 the new year can be a time for growth, for making your dreams come true. Um, but what do we need to leave in the past to move forward? Um, Take the time to get clear and reflect on what you want going forward. You have to no, that have to. If you fail to recognize and celebrate your accomplishments, that can leave you stuck. You feel like everything is bad. You acknowledge the hardships you experienced in the past. You need to make sure that you're not pushing them away because they always pop up later on. So acknowledge the hardships, but don't let your hardships define you. Um, don't let don't carry the baggage forward with you. Carrying old baggage or carrying other people's baggage into the new year will weigh you down. It's not as it's not, again, most of these things are not easy. They're easy, but they're not. They're simple, but they're not easy. They're easy, but they're not simple. So take on your acknowledge the strife or the traumas or the um, the disappointments or the hardships or whatever you want to call them that happened not only this past year but in the past lives, and then move forward with them. Um, when you have people in your life that are no longer there, it's sad, it's heartbreaking, but celebrate the good times you had together. move to the positive of what the experience you had was instead of dwelling on the negative. So, do you have dreams you want to turn into reality? Behaviors you'd like to shed, or new behaviors you'd like to take on? Uh, whether it's the events of the world around us, or a sharp remark by a loved one, or our kids' behaviors, or um, again, death, sickness. Uh, let's not take that on and react in a way that makes us feeling disappointed or malaise or worse. The feelings are real, but they're driven by external. So what do? Finding your inner happiness, take action, baby steps forward. One thing, and then one other thing, and then one other thing. Um, I like to think about the words of an Irish blessing. I just when I'm going through the strife in my life, the death of loved ones, we had a lot of them, um, illnesses, uh, anything that's disappointing. Count your blessings instead of your crosses. Count your gains instead of your losses. Count your joys instead of your woes. Count your friends instead of your foes. Count your smiles instead of your tears. Count your good times instead of your lean. Um, if we begin to start focusing on the positive in our life, we can weather the negative. Not push it behind, not pretend that it's not there, but focus on the good. And here's a final thought: share your dreams and aspirations. Share them with your kids, share them with us, share them with others, and share your plan for making them happen, because nothing happens by just thought. Um, and leave a comment in the comments, so that with your biggest takeaway, or with any questions you may have for you, and I'll reply to the comments and encourage you to interact, because that is how you will and continue to grow. That's it for now. Have a grand rest of the year, and I will see you in. Oh, I will see you with the big announcement on Friday, but that's another thing. Ciao, ciao for now. Join us on Friday.